One more time. A saying of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's correct. It is a saying or a tradition, what somebody said about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he did, or someone did something in his presence and it's recorded and so on. We call these the from the Sunnah and things like that. You can imagine that they are statements regarding his Sunnah, of his actions or observations that were made about him and so on. So just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has compiled we have the Quran, which is Allah's speech, we have the hadith, which includes the speech of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his actions that were observed by the companions radiallahu anhum. Now, are there any other youth in the audience that would like another question? Answer another question? Can someone, yes, okay, Waleed. Who can tell me some of the books of hadith? Do you know some of the books? Tell some. Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, yes? MashaAllah. What was that? The 40 hadith of Imam Nawawi? Well, we're not doing 40 hadith, we're doing Riyadh al-Salihin, but that's another book by Imam Nawawi. But there's a difference. I'm going to explain the difference. That's good. We'll start with Bukhari and Muslim. We know these books, and there are many others. Riyadh al-Salihin actually is a compilation from the other books. And it's a very good book. If you don't have a copy of Riyadh al-Salihin at home, I will give you the advice that I heard from Sheikh Yasir Qadi a long time ago. Make sure you have a copy of Riyadh al-Salihin. Every Muslim home should have a copy of Riyadh al-Salihin at home, inshallah. Okay, so last question before we get into the hadith. Before we do anything in Islam, and maybe some of the youth in the back, you guys can answer this question. Inshallah, you know this one. Before we do anything in Islam, what's the first thing we have to do? How about someone back there? Do you know? What is it? You say Bismillah? Almost. That's actually the second thing. Although the Prophet ﷺ did say, start with Bismillah. But there's something before the Bismillah. I'm going to give someone else another chance. How about you, sitting down? Huh? No? Intention. That's correct. You have the intention. In Arabic, we say niyyah. Going back to what our young brother also said, just as in Islam, we start everything with the right niyyah, even before the Basmalah, the scholars of hadith also began their books with the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ about intention. So the very first hadith in many of the books of hadith are the hadith of intention. And that is where also Imam Nawawi rahimahullah started with Riyadh al-Salihin, with the hadith about intention. And that is where we are going to start, inshallah, the very first book and the very first chapter in Riyadh al-Salihin. So in the first book, it's the book of the miscellaneous items, the various things, and in that you have the chapter on intentions. And of course, I put it on airplane mode, so I can't load it up. 1 second. I did that because I didn't want to go off during the call, during the khutbah. The Khatira. Here we go, it's loading up. Okay, khair. Back on airplane mode. So the very first hadith is about intention, niyyah. Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the deeds are considered by their intentions, and a person will get the reward according to his intention. So whoever made hijrah for Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his hijrah will be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And whoever immigrated for some worldly benefit or to get married to a woman, then his immigration will be for whatever he immigrated for. This hadith, Imam Bukhari mentions, is narrated in both Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. We call that muttafaqun alayh, agreed upon. I know most of you know these things, but inshallah, what you know already, we consider it a benefit, inshallah, because a reminder benefits the believers. So this is the foundation of our understanding in Islam about niyyah. That every deed is known or understood or accounted for according to its niyyah. That's why before anything we have our intention. We make our intention clear. Now, intention is a matter of the heart, of the qalb. We don't, you can say something and have in your heart a different thing. So intention is never expressed by the tongue, and that's a sufficient intention. You can also state your intention, but the true intention is what we hold in our heart, what you truly mean by what you're doing. So, for example, if you get up before Fajr, do your wudu, pray your sunnah at home, drive to the masjid or walk to the masjid, pray tahiyatul masjid, and you make your salah for Fajr, and you sit down, you do your adhkar, do some dua. Why did you do that? For what reason did you do that? This is your intention. Did you do it so that people would say, oh, Brother Basil is one of the people who come to the masjid for Fajr. He's from the Musallin of Fajr. If that's why you did it, that's your intention. And your reward stops right there. Maybe Allah will give you that reward. People will think that about you, but it's not actually true. You're not truly from the people of Fajr in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you intended that I'm doing this because I'm seeking Allah's pleasure, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered me and commanded me to do this, and I'm seeking His reward. That's your intention, and that kind of an intention that you have, seeking Allah's pleasure, this is the one that benefits you both in dunya and in akhirah. And what do we call the sincere intention? There's another word where we talk about that sincerity, sincere intention. Does anybody know that word? What do we call that word in Arabic? Ikhlas. Ikhlas is sincerity. Having that sincerity, that sincere desire to do things. So pure intention is expressed through ikhlas. And that's why Surah Al-Ikhlas doesn't have the word ikhlas in it. Qul huwa Allahu ahad doesn't have the word ikhlas in it, but it captures, because that surah all is about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a short surah, simple, succinct, sweet, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our ikhlas occurs when we do things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, it's okay to love the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. That's a blessing Allah gives you. If you love to smile at your brother, and you know the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to smile in the face of your brother, it's a sadaqah, smile and enjoy it and hope for the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's still a good intention. If you enjoy giving money for sadaqah, and you know that Allah loves that too, and you do it for that reason, that's good. If Allah made it easy for you to come to the masjid and pray, it doesn't mean, it's not a big reward. Allah just made a way that He loves easy for you. You can still have behind that intention. And more, intention is how we turn our day-to-day job into an ibadah. If we say, I have chosen, Ya Allah, to work a halal job instead of a haram job, and I'm hoping to earn some money in a halal way that you have blessed and allowed, so that you are pleased, this becomes an ibadah through your intention. So, my dear brothers and sisters, just a reminder that intention is the foundation of everything that you can do good in this life. There are many more hadith, but I think this is a good opening, inshallah. I don't want to go too long. And inshallah, we will just continue this week by week. Next week, I was told it will not be Monday, but it will be Tuesday, inshallah. Imam Ahmad, Sheikh Ahmed is going to be doing Monday, inshallah, but we'll see what happens. But inshallah, if you're really anxious to see me giving the next hadith, inshallah, that's what it will be, inshallah. But Jazakumullah khair, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with the beneficial knowledge, to give us the understanding of it, to act upon it, and to guide. Yes, brother, do you have a question? Yes. It absolutely can be spoiled. The brother's asking a really good question. Is it enough to just have an intention at the beginning and then you think whatever after? Even you change your intention later. The hadith is pretty clear in that it is by the intention. So if you change your intention, it can be that way. In fact, you can change a bad intention into a good intention as well. So you may visit somebody and you want to say something nasty to him. Your intention the whole way there is, I want to just give it to him. And you see his face, and Allah's rahmah manifests itself in you. And you say, this is my brother in Islam. He did this when... Assalamu alaikum, brother, how are you? You have changed the bad intention into a good intention. What's interesting is the tricks that shaitan will play to say, oh, you became weak, you chicken out. What, you chicken out from doing a bad deed? That's not chickening out, that's bravery, that's courage. So your intention matters, and it's ultimately your actually more the ending intention even than the beginning. You begin with the right intention so that it all is covered by that, but it matters what is your intention throughout. And in fact, there's time for some examples we can talk about later. Again, I don't want to go too long, but another example is the Prophet ﷺ. Subhanallah, I don't want to go into too much into this. Inshallah, we can talk more if you have questions. We can go into that. There's more hadith about intention that we'll cover more of these topics, inshallah. But the main thing, keep your intention pure as much as possible from start to finish in all ways and in all things. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the beneficial knowledge, protect us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help and aid and assist our brothers and sisters all throughout the world that are suffering through harshness, difficulty, war, famine, other trials and tribulations, man-made or natural or otherwise. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala support, especially our brothers and sisters in Gaza, in Palestine, in Syria, in Sudan, in all the places where there is calamity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help the oppressed and the weak overcome their difficulties. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.